Angela from Nightbird Tarot. I'm here to do the third installment with the series Truth from Spirit. So I did some channeling tonight and I'd like to go over that with you, and then we'll pull some tarot cards and get a message from Spirit. This is a collective message. This is not a zodiac sign affiliated, so this is for the collective, so for all signs, all placements, all everything, all living beings. So this is a truth from Spirit. So I'm going to first go over what I channeled today. And if you're new here and you like this reading, you may want to go back to look at the other two videos that led up to this reading today, and this channeling that I've done. So this is a series that I'm doing. So this is the third one. So you may want to look back at the other two as well if this resonates with you. This is more for people that are going through the awakening process or curious about awakening, what is happening, things like that, and what I'm being led to tell you through Spirit, through my channeling. And then I will also pull some tarot cards and get a message for today. So hopefully you all are doing well. If you're new here and you like this type of reading, or you are a Pisces, I also do Pisces readings at this time, or you want a private reading and go more in depth with me, you can find that information on my page, and I will link that information in the description here as well. I will also put in the description everything that I go through tonight, so make sure that you look at that as well if you have questions about the things that I was channeling. If you have any questions at all, you can always email me at nightbirdtarot99@gmail.com when it comes to Truth from Spirit. So I'm an intuitive, so I'm going to go over the things that I channeled before I came on tonight, where I had some time with Spirit and the messages that I was getting. And then we'll pull some tarot cards and see what message is for you tonight. So let's first go through the channeling messages. And welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you for being here every night and every day. Thank you for liking, sharing, hyping, doing all the buttons. Thank you so much for doing that. It really means a lot to me. And I love all your comments and how the readings resonate with you. So thank you for that. It really makes me feel like I'm part of your life. So with that said, I'm going to go over my notes here and what I pulled from Spirit during my channeling, and then we're going to talk a little bit about that. So the first thing I wrote down here is we attach or we attract the frequency levels that are similar to our own. So when I was getting this channeling, I was feeling like when you're born into a certain place, family, ties, whatever it is, you're born into a certain type of frequency, okay? So there's a hereditary pull, and you have been programmed in that frequency since childhood, since the day you were born. So in other words, say that you have, you make $70,000 a year. You have the same type of job that your parents did. You live in the same type of home that they did. You live in the same type of community they did. It's all the same type of frequency. And no matter where you go, you attract or attach yourself to the frequency, or the frequency attaches itself to you. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, no matter how many jobs you have, no matter what, you are attaching and attracting that type of frequency. And it's been done through programming since you were born, okay? And you live very similar to those that are in your hereditary or your family or your lineage, is what I want to say here. And that's what Spirit was telling me. So where Spirit was going with this is you are not tapping into the true potential of yourself. You are the master creator of your life because God is within you. God and the divine, one and the same, is within you. You are the master creator of your life, okay? And you're much more powerful than the elite, they say, okay, within our world. You are much more powerful than the elite within our world. And that's one thing that they don't want you to know, is what Spirit said. We all are. We all are the elite, in other words, okay? We are one. So those that know you don't know the truth, they call themselves the elite and do not want you to know the power that you have. In other words, you're the master creator of your life. But because you're not tapping into your true potential, the true high frequency for which you can create the world around you, you're not tapping into that because you've been programmed since you were born, not only by those in the elites that they call themselves, who have created or programmed us to see outside of ourselves instead of within. So they program you, okay, the elite as they think they are, they program you, okay, to be attached to the physical. And attaching yourself to the physical, the physical is the Antichrist. So the programming happens, especially in children. It happens the easiest. Children, since they're born, are very programmable, okay? And if you think about it, even if you were adopted into a family, you're programmed into thinking the way that that family is. You're programmed not only by your family and the hereditary factor or the lineage, but you're programmed by everything that you see around you, especially what do children do? They watch television, they watch movies, they watch whatever it is. They're on their tablets nowadays, they're on their own little phones, whatever. They're being programmed by the elite that do this so that they don't know that they have the power to create the world in which they live, is what Spirit was saying to me. So you are the creation or the creator of your reality by the programming or the frequency that is attached or what you attract yourself to. That frequency is what you're always going to be, okay? Because you've been programmed to that frequency. For instance, no matter how many jobs I have, no matter how much I do, I'm an ultrasound tech. I've worked my whole life since I was 14 years old. I've always worked. And as an ultrasound tech, later in life, in my 20s, I became an ultrasound tech. I've taught ultrasound for 9.5 years at university level. I have, mastered basically every board certification there is for my career. I go to work every day, Monday through Friday. I have extracurricular things that I do, such as a band. I'm a painter. I do all of these different things, and they bring in some income, but I'm still like at this level. I'm never going to have that level change for me until I reprogram, in other words. And that's what Spirit was saying to me. So we're looking outside of ourselves, and that keeps us programmed to the Matrix. And again, I've never seen that movie at all, so I don't even know what that's about. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the simulation that we're in, because we've been programmed since we've been born, okay? And not only by our family and our lineage, but also the environment for which we are, which has been programmed by the elites, okay, that know that we have a much bigger power than they will ever have, and they keep our frequency lower by programming us. We are very susceptible to programming when we are children, is what Spirit kept telling me. So we look outside of ourselves, and that keeps us programmed. So when we look outside of ourselves, we're looking at, oh, I would like to have that. Oh, I would like to have that. Oh, I'd like to have that. And we're being programmed. And you can work very hard and maybe achieve these things, but most likely you're attracting the same type of frequency no matter where you go, is what Spirit was saying to me. And what needs to be done here as we are programmed, is what Spirit was saying here, is that instead of looking outside of ourselves and staying within the program, staying within the matrix, staying within the simulation that we have been programmed to be in since we were born, we need to tap into the joy within us that's inside. The joy within is what we need to tap into. And this is where the Christ consciousness lives, is what Spirit said. And how do we do that? Is what I kept asking Spirit. How do we tap into the joy within, that is Christ consciousness, in order to bring our frequency up, our vibration up, in order to change the programming for which we live? Okay? And Spirit said, silence. Silence is where you find Spirit and the divine. This is where you change the programming and the frequency. So those are the messages that I got during my channeling. So basically, we attach or we attract frequency levels that are similar to our own, okay? How this started was when we were born through hereditary pull. We've been programmed since we were born, okay? We're not tapping into our true potential because we are the creators of our world around us, okay? You are the master creator. You are more elite than the elite say that they are, that who govern our world. And we are all elite because we are all one. Those that know the truth don't want you to know that you have this power within you. They call themselves the elite, okay? But they don't want you to have the power that you have. The Antichrist is not a person. The Antichrist is the physical. We're attached to the physical. We're being programmed to want more and want more and want more and want more from what we see outside of ourselves. But that's not where the true Christ consciousness is. That is not where you create your abundance. You need to change your frequency by knowing that you create the world around you. You have to almost like cut the ties of the programming or reprogram yourself by how? Going in silence. And by going in silence, this is where you find the Spirit and the divine. This is where you change the programming and the frequency. You know, the Buddha did this, Jesus did this, 40 days, 40 nights of fasting, meditation, things like that. That's how things were changed. Changing that frequency to become more enlightened, to become closer to the divine, to be able to actually do what that is your true birthright in order to create the environment for which you want. You are the creation of your reality. You are the creator because the divine God Spirit lives within you. And again, my last message last week was Spirit, the body is in Spirit, not the Spirit is in the body. So remember that. It's all around you. What you see is programming. We are so much larger than you can even imagine. We are in Spirit. Our bodies are in Spirit. And the divine is within us. We are all one. So silence is where you'll find the Spirit and divine. This is where you can change the programming and the frequency, is the messages that I got from Spirit this evening as I channeled. So I hope that you enjoyed that. So I'm going to move on to the tarot reading portion of this to see what kind of messages that Spirit has for us when it comes to this message that I got through channeling. Let's call in Spirit. And please let me know in the comment section if this, if this felt right or resonated with you in these channeling messages. Let's see what Spirit has to say here. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Today's Thursday, February 19th. But when you find this reading is when you're meant to receive the message. So keep that in mind as well. Angels, guides, ancestors, what is the message from the truth from Spirit this evening, please, Spirit? What is the truth from Spirit? We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Nine of Cups. One more, please, Spirit. What is the truth from Spirit, please? And we have the full moon. One more, please, Spirit. Three of Cups. We're going to put this moon here. Back of the deck, we have the Judgment card in the reverse position. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is that through the message of channeling, we were talking about how you're programmed, right? So you're programmed and you're attached to the frequency for which you've been programmed through hereditary means, through lineage, through the elite, okay? And we're just going to call the elite, even though Spirit said we're all the elite. Okay, we all have creative powers that we can tap into. But those that call themselves the elite, okay, you've been carrying a very heavy burden with the Ten of Wands. You're an overload, perhaps. And I feel like, Spirit is saying that this is because you've been programmed this way. And Spirit is offering you a new existence. So this is a new creation of love, laughter, happiness with the Ace of Cups. Spirit is giving you a reason to go into silence, to help reprogram you so that you're not carrying these heavy burdens every day. You're overloaded, and you're overloaded by the world around you, by what you see. Remember, what you see is the programming. Instead of looking within, okay, tapping into your true potential as a creator yourself, okay, you're looking outside of yourself for the answers. But the answers are within. And you're carrying the heavy load by looking at things on the outside instead of within. But Spirit is saying they're offering you a way to have love, life, laughter, the creation, a new creation of well-being by giving you this answer, which is going to lead you to satisfaction, which is going to lead you to happiness, fulfillment, rest, relaxation, enjoyment with the Nine of Cups. And then you can tell your friends about it. So this is like a message. What Spirit is saying here is that I was the channel that Spirit came through to give you this message so that you can lay down all these burdens, go into silence, and reprogram yourself to create the environment for which you want, to reprogram the frequency for which you've been attached to since you were born, to bring you more love, new creation in your life, happiness, fulfillment, joy, satisfaction. And then You will then be the channel as well, telling others on how to do this, which creates our new world, our new earth, our new creation, as we talked about in the last Truth from Spirit. This will create our new existence, the new heaven, the new creation, the new earth, by letting other people know the same message, is what I'm feeling here. And I feel like, come full moon time, there'll be a time of harvest, is with this full moon being here that came out. Perhaps we are gathering all the things that we need at this time in order to have the harvest, in order to have a new life, new creation, new existence, new frequency, to be celebrated under the full moon. So in order for this to happen, there's a resistance to a rebirth. There's a resistance to new frequency. There's a resistance to detaching yourself from the physical. The physical is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is not a person. It is the physical environment. It is outside of yourself, creating the frequency for which you live. But there is hope here with the star card right behind here. And that is what Spirit is saying here. You must go through a rebirth, but you're hesitant about going this way. There are a lot of people that are hesitant about going within, sitting in silence, in order to reprogram what's been programmed into them since they were born. So there's a hesitancy for rebirth here in the shadow for what you don't see, but there is hope attached to it. What else, Spirit? What is the truth from Spirit? So as above, so below. So whatever is created in the divine, in the higher frequency, will eventually be brought down to the physical plane. But it starts with you. You are the creator of the existence. As above, so below, with the Temperance card. One more, please, Spirit. What is the truth? We've got two. So we have, again, the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups here. It's almost like you're not reuniting with your true self. Spirit is guiding you to reunite with the true self within you, to bring fulfillment that you do not have at this time. The fulfillment, you have burden, that's all you have. And there's an offer here from Spirit to create the life that which you want, and you can share it with others. This truth, to bring in reunion of your soul with your true potential and fulfillment that you so desperately need. As above, so below. And the wheel is turning in your favor here with the Wheel of Fortune. Your destiny is this. This is everyone's destiny, Spirit says. To understand and realize your true potential. You are a master creator of this universe. The divine, Spirit are with you. And only you can reprogram yourself. Only you can raise your frequency. But it starts by going into silence. It starts by reprogramming, by not looking outside of yourself for the answers, but within, is what Spirit's telling me. Let's pull an Akashic Records Oracle card to finish up the reading here. But yes, this is the truth from Spirit. Angels, guides, ancestors. Okay, that wanted to come up. So the card says, walk away. You're wasting your precious energy on something that will never bear fruit. It's time to turn your attention to things that are more aligned to your soul's purpose. I cannot make this up. It is time that you align with your true potential by going within into silence, changing the frequency that you have, showing your true potential by creating the environment for which you are, reprogramming. You need to walk away from the physical. The Antichrist is the physical. The answers are not outside of yourself. They're within. And it creates the environment for which you live in. It's time to reprogram. It's time to be the creator that this is your true purpose. This is your soul purpose. You are a master creator. And it's time for you to walk away from energy that no longer suits you in this low vibrational frequency and energy and the heavy burdens that you've been carrying. The wheel is turning in your favor here. It's time to wake up. It is time to realize that you've been programmed this way. I'm going to leave the message there. I hope you enjoyed it. I love these messages from Truth from Spirit. I hope you did too. Please let me know if this resonates with you in the comment section or where you're at on the timeline when it comes to awakening. I would love to hear it. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful evening. Namaste.